Hello, my name is Kyle Suggs, and welcome to my channel where we take culture, TV, and movies, and we filter it right. And this time, I'm going to talk about a Newsweek article that really should be considered libel, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to tell you about the tweet that went out and also the article that it references. Let's check it out. Okay, so Newsweek yesterday puts out a tweet for an article that they did, which basically says this, and I'm going to read from it. Donald Trump Jr. praises Candace Owens for her defense of Hitler comments. And then there's a link to the actual article. Defense of Hitler comments. What does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? To me, it seems like it's straight up libel because of the wording of it. Defense of Hitler comments. That is not what she said. They're referring to Candace Owens being on the Hill this week at the House Judiciary Committee talking about the white nationalism and all that stuff, the hate crime committee hearing. Well, that's not what she said. She said, and despite of what Congressman Lieu tried to do, he tried to put out a quote she did out of context and then not let her respond. But despite that, she said that he's basically a homicidal maniac who hated his people. Nationalists love their people, and nationalists don't kill their people. Therefore, Hitler is not a nationalist. That was her argument, okay? And that's what she said initially back on the initial comments that was referenced. Let's go to the article, because initially I was like, well, this, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, despite Newsweek's history of being fake news and all that good stuff. I said, well, you know what? Let's just look at the article and let's see what they say. Maybe I'm overstating it. No, I'm not overstating it. In fact, the actual article itself, I made some notes here so I can be as accurate as possible with no references here, because I don't have one screen here to look at with my phone. I don't have a secondary way to reference this, but I took some notes. And so essentially there were 5 points. And so there's 5 cases in which she supposedly had done these racist or insensitive comments on social media or in articles or interviews. There's 5 points. The first one was they claim that she said that racism does not exist. Well, she did not say that. The quote they actually gave was a small snippet, and the snippet was that, paraphrasing, she said that stop taking our self-confidence away from us. I was never a slave in this country. All right. And so that is not saying that racism doesn't exist. It just says in her lifetime, slavery never existed. That's it. That was a total mischaracterization. That was total fake. That's just wrong. And it's indefensible. Second point is the initial comments about Hitler. We covered that before. She said the same thing then on Pinterest as well. All right. The third point is that she mocked victims of sexual assault. And for this one was even worse because they gave a small snippet out of context. I don't know what it means, but she was referring to the Kavanaugh hearing and the hashtag #HimToo movement that was out there to combat the believe all women. Okay. We need to believe all women and believe all men, believe everybody with due process. Okay. And so you can't just take one side and just go with that. We have a system of laws in this country that insists that we have a due process system. That's what drives our society, our culture. That's what makes everything work. And so when you take one side and don't let another side defend themselves simply because you want to push a narrative or push an agenda, that is fascism. That is wrong. And that's what she was talking about in this. All right. The fourth point is that Black Lives Matters are harmful to black people. Well, she was basically talking about the fact that 17 million people who are black have been aborted since 1973. Okay. And then she was going on also about, other things that the Black Lives Matter was avoiding, in her opinion, in terms of the black community and what's going on there. And so if you have a question with her heart, go check out her interview she did with a Black Lives Matter leader on her channel. It's 1 hour and 43 minutes where they talk about issues. They don't agree, but there is some commonality there. And I think it's a good thing for people to see who don't like her and who think that she is just this out of touch person. She's very much in touch. It's just that what's happening is people like Newsweek and the mainstream media have never heard these types of things. So when they hear it, it's truthful and they think, oh my gosh, it's so controversial. I can't believe she said that. but there's nothing that they can say to hit her with actual arguments. This article is very, very short. It takes snippets and then tries to extrapolate these grandiose ideas that she is some sort of white nationalist, out of touch, Uncle Tom, whatever. And it's ridiculous. And they know that people are not going to do their research. And so that's why I'm glad that YouTube is out there, and that when C-SPAN put out that clip of them talking between Candace Owens and Congressman Lieu, when that went out on Twitter, they got 4.4 million views within 24 hours, a record for C-SPAN. Okay? All right, so the last point they mentioned is that black people are doing better under Trump. Okay, well, I'm not sure how you can say that's not true, or at least she has a basis for that, considering we have the lowest black unemployment on record. So, we can just start with that. And so this article is so dishonest, and I think, again, it comes from a crime of commission, whereas they're trying to purposely lie to you, and omission, mainly because they don't know their own truth, they believe their own stuff, and so when someone comes at them with something truthful, they're like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Being inside of their echo chambers all day long in the little circles, they all hear the same things. So when someone actually tells them something, oh my goodness, it's called cognitive dissonance. And they have that. So those two things, crime of omission, crime of commission, is what's causing the social media, social media and the mainstream media to go crazy. So with that, I'm going to jump off here. If you like the content on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing and hitting that button below, that bell icon, so you can get more notifications when new videos come up. And with that, please check out these videos right here.